In the vast expanse of the galaxy, where countless civilizations rise and fall, humanity was once considered an insignificant anomaly, a young species barely scratching the surface of interstellar exploration. But what if this perception was wrong? What if humans were not newcomers to the stars, but instead an ancient race whose legacy had been erased from history? The story begins on Earth in the year 3124. Humanity has finally joined the galactic community after centuries of struggle. Despite their technological advancements, humans are still viewed as naive and inexperienced by other species, mere children compared to the millennia-old empires that dominate the cosmos. Yet whispers begin to circulate among alien scholars and historians. Strange artifacts have been discovered on distant worlds, bearing markings eerily similar to ancient human languages. Ruins predating known galactic history contain traces of DNA unmistakably linked to Homo sapiens. Something doesn't add up. Dr. Elena Voss, a brilliant xenoarchaeologist, is at the center of this mystery. Her team uncovers a massive underground structure on a remote planet in the Orion cluster, a structure older than any known civilization. Within its walls lies a holographic archive, activated only by human touch. The archive reveals fragments of a forgotten era, humanity's ancient empire, spanning thousands of star systems, flourishing long before the current galactic powers even existed. The revelation shocks the galaxy. Humans, once dismissed as primitive, are now seen in a new light. But the archives also reveal a darker truth. Humanity's downfall was not natural, it was orchestrated. An alliance of rival species, fearing humanity's dominance, conspired to destroy their empire, erasing all records of their existence and scattering survivors across the stars. Over millennia, humanity forgot its origins, devolving into isolated tribes on Earth, unaware of their glorious past. As Dr. Voss delves deeper into the archives, she uncovers a chilling warning. The ancient humans foresaw their downfall and left behind weapons and knowledge hidden across the galaxy, tools capable of reshaping the balance of power. But these relics come with a price. If misused, they could unleash devastation unlike anything the galaxy has ever seen. News of humanity's ancient legacy spreads like wildfire. Some alien factions seek to ally with humans, hoping to unlock the secrets of their ancestors. Others fear humanity's resurgence and plot to eliminate them once and for all. Tensions rise and the fragile peace of the galactic community teeters on the brink of collapse. Meanwhile, humanity faces a choice. Should they embrace their ancient heritage and reclaim their place as a dominant force in the galaxy? Or should they reject the violent legacy of their ancestors and forge a new path, one built on cooperation and understanding? As the story unfolds, Dr. Voss and her team embark on a perilous journey across the stars, seeking the remaining archives and relics of humanity's lost empire. Along the way, they encounter allies and enemies, uncovering truths that challenge their understanding of morality, identity, and destiny. They must navigate political intrigue, survive deadly battles, and confront the ghosts of humanity's past. In the climactic finale, Dr. Voss discovers the final archive, hidden within a dying star system. It contains the key to humanity's ultimate weapon, a device capable of rewriting reality itself. But activating it requires a sacrifice, forcing Dr. Voss to make an impossible decision: save humanity by unleashing its ancient power or risk everything to preserve the fragile hope of peace. Humanity's lost legacy is a tale of discovery, redemption, and the enduring spirit of a species determined to rise above its past. It explores themes of identity, responsibility, and the impact of history on the present. As the story concludes, humanity stands at a crossroads, poised to shape the future of the galaxy, not through conquest, but through the choices they make today. Join us on this epic journey through time and space as we uncover the forgotten legacy of humanity and redefine what it means to be human in a universe filled with wonder and danger. The story opens with a vivid scene: a lone spacecraft drifting through the ruins of a long-dead star system. Dr. Elena Voss narrates her findings in a voice filled with awe and trepidation. "We thought we were young, a species just beginning to stretch its arms into the void. but the stars hold secrets far older than we imagine. And among those secrets lies the truth about us, about humanity. The camera pans across ancient structures floating in space, colossal monuments built from materials unknown to modern science. Alien symbols are etched into their surfaces, but some markings resemble primitive human script. As the ship scans the area, it picks up faint energy signatures, suggesting that something within these ruins still lives. Discovery Dr. Elena Voss is introduced as a brilliant, yet fiercely independent xenoarchaeologist working for the United Galactic Consortium, UGC. Her team consists of Captain Arlen Drax, a grizzled war veteran who serves as the team's protector; Tessa Corin, a tech-savvy linguist with a knack for decoding alien languages; Ravi Singh, a cheerful engineer whose optimism balances the group's tension; Cale Thorne, a mysterious alien historian from the Volari species who seems unusually interested in humanity's past. The team is dispatched to the Orion cluster after rumors surface of ancient ruins containing artifacts linked to humans. Upon arrival, they find a massive underground structure buried beneath the planet's surface. As they explore, Tessa deciphers fragments of inscriptions on the walls. Tessa, these symbols, they're almost identical to early Earth hieroglyphs. How is that possible? This site predates humanity's recorded history by tens of thousands of years. Kyle, with a hint of unease, perhaps your people are not as young as you believe. Elena activates a hidden mechanism using her DNA, revealing a holographic archive. The projection shows images of ancient humans commanding fleets of starships, building cities on distant worlds, and interacting with alien species long extinct. Captain Drax, stunned. You're telling me humans had an empire before we even learned how to farm? Elena, whispering. Not just an empire, a legacy. The revelation. As the team studies the archive, they uncover records of humanity's ancient empire, the Sol Dominion, which once spanned thousands of star systems. The Dominion was technologically advanced, culturally rich, and militarily unmatched. But it also harbored a dark side: ruthless expansionism and devastating wars with rival species. Cal reveals his own motives. His ancestors, the Volari, were part of the alliance that brought down the Sol Dominion. He explains that humanity's empire was destroyed because it grew too powerful, threatening the balance of the galaxy. The alliance erased all traces of humanity's existence, scattering survivors to isolated planets like Earth. Kyle, quietly, your people were not victims. They were conquerors, tyrants. The galaxy united against them and won. Elena struggles with this revelation. She feels pride in humanity's achievements, but horror at their arrogance and cruelty. Meanwhile, tensions rise between the team members. Captain Drax distrusts Kale, suspecting he has ulterior motives. Ravi tries to lighten the mood but grows increasingly anxious as the stakes become clear. Subplot: political intrigue. News of the discovery leaks to the UGC, sparking chaos across the galactic community. Some factions view humanity as a potential ally, believing their ancient knowledge could help solve current crises. Others fear humanity's resurgence and begin plotting against them. On Earth, political leaders debate whether to embrace their newfound heritage or distance themselves from the violent legacy of the Sol Dominion. The president of Earth, Lila Morgan, reaches out to Elena for advice. President Morgan, if we claim this legacy, we'll gain allies and enemies. The galaxy will never see us the same way again. What do you think, Dr. Voss? Elena, hesitant. I think the truth matters, but what we do with it, that's what defines us. The hunt for relics. The archive reveals the locations of ancient relics scattered across the galaxy, powerful technologies left behind by the Sol Dominion. These include weapons capable of destroying entire star systems, advanced medical devices, and machines that manipulate time and space. The team sets out to recover these relics before they fall into the wrong hands. Each relic comes with its own challenges. The Star Forge, a massive facility hidden inside a neutron star, capable of producing indestructible ships. The team must navigate deadly radiation and evade pirates seeking to claim the forge for themselves. The Eternity Shard, a crystal that grants visions of the future, but drives its user mad. Elena uses the shard to glimpse humanity's fate, seeing both triumph and catastrophe. The Oblivion Engine, a weapon so powerful it can rewrite reality itself. The engine is guarded by an ancient AI that tests the team's morality, forcing them to confront their darkest fears. Throughout these missions, the team faces internal conflicts. Captain Drax grows increasingly protective of Elena, while Kale's loyalty remains uncertain. Ravi bonds with Tessa, providing moments of humor and warmth amidst the tension. Betrayal Kale secretly communicates with his Valari superiors, who plan to sabotage humanity's efforts. However, Kale begins to question his allegiance as he witnesses Elena's determination to use the relics responsibly. In a pivotal moment, Kale betrays his own people to save the team, earning their trust. Kale, to Elena, I thought your kind would repeat the mistakes of the past, but now, I see you're different. The final archive. The team locates the final archive on a dying planet orbiting a collapsing star. Inside, they discover the ultimate secret of the Sol Dominion, humanity's ability to adapt and evolve under any circumstances. The archive contains blueprints for rebuilding civilization, emphasizing cooperation over conquest, but activating the archive requires a sacrifice. The collapsing star threatens to destroy the planet, and someone must stay behind to stabilize the archive's energy core. Captain Drax volunteers, knowing his military experience makes him the best candidate. Drax, smiling, guess I finally get to be the hero. Don't let my sacrifice go to waste. In a tearful farewell, the team escapes as Drax stabilizes the core, ensuring the archive's survival. A new beginning, back on Earth, Elena presents the archive's findings to the galactic community. She urges humanity to reject the violence of their ancestors and build a future based on unity and understanding. Elena, our past does not define us. Our choices do. We are not conquerors, we are explorers, dreamers, builders. Let us prove that humanity's legacy is one of hope, not fear. Elena gazes at the stars, knowing the journey is far from over. The ripple effect. The galaxy watches as humanity steps forward to embrace its ancient heritage. The activation of the final archive sends shockwaves across the stars, releasing a signal that awakens dormant technologies scattered throughout the galaxy. Ancient machines hum to life, forgotten starships rise from their resting places, and hidden caches of knowledge reveal themselves to those who dare seek them. Dr. Elena Voss narrates once again, her voice filled with both hope and unease. We thought reclaiming our past would bring clarity. Instead, it brought chaos. The galaxy is changing, and humanity stands at the center of it all. But not everyone welcomes change. The rising threat. While humanity works to integrate the relics and knowledge of the Sol Dominion into their society, opposition grows. Alien factions that once feared humanity's resurgence now take action. Chief among them is the Valari sovereignty, led by Kale's former mentor, High Chancellor Rhaenyra Vel, a cunning and ruthless leader determined to prevent humanity from becoming a galactic superpower. Rhaenyra gathers a coalition of species who suffered under the Sol Dominion, framing humanity's rediscovery of its legacy as a threat to galactic peace. She warns that humanity will inevitably repeat the mistakes of their ancestors, rallying support for preemptive strikes against Earth and its allies. Rhaenyra, the humans claim they have changed, but history teaches us otherwise. They are conquerors by nature. If we wait, we will regret it. Meanwhile, on Earth, President Lila Morgan struggles to maintain unity. Some human factions advocate using the ancient weapons to assert dominance over the galaxy, while others push for diplomacy and cooperation. The fragile balance within humanity itself threatens to unravel. Elena's burden. Dr. Elena Voss becomes a symbol of humanity's new era, but the weight of her discoveries takes a toll. She questions whether humanity can truly overcome its violent tendencies, or if reclaiming their legacy was a mistake. Her relationship with Kyle deepens as he shares his own struggles with guilt over his people's role in humanity's downfall. Kyle, quietly, I betrayed my people to help you, but sometimes I wonder, did I make the right choice? Elena, with resolve. We're not perfect, Kyle, but we're trying. That has to count for something. Their bond grows stronger, though tensions remain as Kel continues to wrestle with his loyalties. The awakening relics. As humanity activates more relics, strange phenomena begin to occur across the galaxy. The relics seem to possess a sentience of their own, responding to humanity's actions. One such relic, the Eidolon Sphere, grants visions of alternate timelines, showing what could happen if humanity chooses war or peace. Elena uses the sphere and sees a horrifying vision: humanity leading a galactic empire built on oppression, with alien species enslaved and planets destroyed. But she also sees another timeline, one where humanity unites the galaxy through cooperation, creating an era of unprecedented prosperity. Elena, to the team, the future isn't set. These relics aren't just tools, they're tests. They're asking us who we want to be. Captain Arlen Drax's sacrifice weighs heavily on the team, especially Ravi Singh, who feels guilty for surviving when Drax didn't. Ravi throws himself into his work, developing ways to use the relics for peaceful purposes, such as advanced medical technologies and sustainable energy sources. Ravi, to Tessa, if Drax were here, he'd tell me to stop moping and do something useful. So that's what I'm going to do. The Shadow War, unbeknownst to humanity, Rhaenyra's coalition launches covert operations to sabotage Earth's efforts. Sleeper agents infiltrate human colonies, spreading propaganda and inciting rebellion. Sabotage missions target key relic sites, causing devastating explosions and setting back humanity's progress. One such attack occurs at the Starforge, killing dozens of scientists and engineers. Elena and her team narrowly escape, but the incident leaves them shaken. Tessa, angrily, they don't want peace. They want us gone. Kaiwan, grimly, and they won't stop until they succeed. The attacks force humanity to bolster its defenses, but this only fuels Rhaenyra's claims that humans are preparing for war. The Galactic Summit. In a desperate bid to prevent all-out conflict, President Morgan calls for a galactic summit, inviting leaders from every major faction to discuss humanity's role in the galaxy. The summit takes place on the neutral world of Erythra Prime, a planet known for its breathtaking, crystalline landscapes. Elena is chosen to represent humanity alongside President Morgan. Kale accompanies her, serving as both an advisor and a bridge between humans and the Valari. The summit is tense. Rhaenyra accuses humanity of destabilizing the galaxy, presenting evidence of ancient atrocities committed by the Soul Dominion. Elena counters by showcasing humanity's efforts to use the relics for peaceful purposes, highlighting Ravi's breakthroughs in medicine and energy. Elena, we cannot change the past, but we can choose what kind of future we want, for ourselves and for the galaxy. Despite her impassioned plea, the summit ends in deadlock. Rhaenyra refuses to compromise and several factions withdraw their support for humanity. The battle for unity, Rhaenyra's coalition launches a full-scale assault on Earth, targeting key cities and orbital stations. Humanity fights back, using the relics to defend themselves without resorting to offensive measures. Ravi's innovations prove invaluable, allowing Earth's forces to disable enemy ships without destroying them. Kel confronts Rhaenyra during the battle, pleading with her to end the violence. Kel, this isn't justice, it's vengeance. You're condemning billions for the sins of their ancestors. Rhaenyra, and what would you have me do? Trust them? Let them rise again and destroy us all? Their confrontation ends in tragedy as Rhaenyra sacrifices herself to unleash a devastating weapon aimed at Earth. Kyle manages to stop the weapon, but Rhaenyra's death plunges the Valari sovereignty into chaos. A fragile peace. The battle ends with humanity victorious, but at great cost. Earth lies scarred, and many alien factions remain distrustful. However, the efforts of Elena, Kyle, and Ravi inspire hope. Humanity pledges to use the relics solely for peaceful purposes, working to rebuild trust and foster cooperation. Elena reflects on the journey, standing atop a hill overlooking Earth's recovering cities. Elena, we've come so far, but the road ahead is long. Our legacy isn't just about what we've done, it's about what we'll do next. Kale joins her, gazing at the stars. Kale, do you think the galaxy will ever forgive us? Elena, maybe, maybe not, but forgiveness starts with us, with proving we deserve it. The echoes of power. The galaxy is no longer the same. The activation of humanity's relics has sent ripples through space-time itself, awakening not only dormant technologies, but also long-forgotten forces. Strange phenomena begin to occur across the galaxy. Stars flicker unnaturally, entire planets vanish without explanation, and whispers of an ancient enemy resurface in the dark corners of space. Dr. Elena Voss narrates once again, her voice tinged with both hope and dread. We thought reclaiming our past would bring us answers. Instead, it brought questions. Questions we're not ready to face. The galaxy is unraveling, and at its heart lies a truth older than any of us. A truth that could destroy everything. The fractured alliance. Despite humanity's victory in defending Earth, the galaxy remains divided. Many alien factions are reluctant to trust humans, while others secretly covet the power of the relics for themselves. The fragile peace established after the battle begins to crumble as new tensions arise. A rift among humans. Even within humanity, cracks begin to form. A powerful faction known as the Dominion Revivalists emerges, led by the charismatic and enigmatic General Victor Kane, a former military hero. Kane believes humanity should embrace its ancient legacy fully, using the relics to establish dominance over the galaxy. General Kane. We were gods once. The galaxy feared us, and for good reason. If we don't seize this moment, we'll be crushed underfoot by those who hate us. President Lila Morgan opposes Kane's ideology, advocating for diplomacy and cooperation. This ideological divide threatens to spark a civil war among humans, forcing Elena and her team to navigate treacherous political waters. Elena confronts Kane during a tense meeting on Mars. Elena. You think power will save us? It didn't save the Sol Dominion. It destroyed them. Kane, smirking. The difference is, this time we know better. And if you're too blind to see that, then step aside. The forgotten enemy. As humanity grapples with internal strife, strange events begin to escalate across the galaxy. Entire fleets disappear without a trace, and colonies report sightings of massive, shadowy ships that seem to phase in and out of existence. These ships bear no resemblance to any known species technology. Kyle Thorne, the Valari historian and now a trusted ally of Elena, uncovers ancient records that speak of a terrifying force known as the Eclipsed Ones, a race of beings who existed before the rise of the Sol Dominion. According to legend, the Eclipsed Ones were banished to another dimension by the combined efforts of the galaxy's earliest civilizations, including ancient humans. Kyle, reading from a crumbling text. They were called the Eclipsed Ones because they consumed the light of stars. They didn't conquer. They erased. If they've returned, he pauses, looking grim, then nothing we've built will survive. The team realizes that the activation of the relics may have inadvertently weakened the barriers, keeping the Eclipsed Ones in prison. The galaxy faces a threat far greater than any war or political conflict, a threat that could annihilate all life. The Sentinel AI, while investigating one of the newly awakened relics, the team encounters an ancient artificial intelligence known as Sentinel Prime, designed by the Sol Dominion to guard against the return of the Eclipsed Ones. Sentinel Prime is vast, housed within a derelict Dyson sphere orbiting a dying star. Sentinel Prime, in a deep, resonant voice. Humanity has awakened the echoes of its past. You must finish what your ancestors began, or face extinction. Sentinel reveals that the Eclipsed Ones can only be stopped by reactivating a network of star beacons, ancient devices scattered across the galaxy that generate a protective barrier against extra-dimensional incursions. However, the beacons require immense energy to function, and their activation risks destabilizing nearby star systems. Elena. So we either risk destroying the galaxy to save it, or let these things wipe us out. Sentinel Prime. There is no perfect choice, only survival or oblivion. The race against time. The team embarks on a desperate mission to locate and activate the star beacons before the Eclipsed Ones fully emerge. Each beacon is hidden on a world tied to humanity's ancient empire, forcing the team to confront the ghosts of the past. Beacon 1, the frozen world of Nerion. The first beacon lies beneath the icy surface of Nerion, a planet once used as a prison colony by the Sol Dominion. As the team explores the frozen ruins, they uncover horrifying evidence of the Dominion's cruelty, prisoners forced into experiments to create biological weapons. Ravi Singh, the team's optimistic engineer, struggles with the moral weight of their discoveries. Ravi, is this who we were? Monsters? How do we come back from this? Tessa Corin, the linguist, comforts him. Tessa, we're not them, Ravi. We're here to make things right. The team activates the beacon, but awakens a swarm of biomechanical creatures left behind as guardians. A thrilling escape ensues, with Kale piloting their ship through a collapsing ice cavern. Beacon 2, the desert planet of Taris. The second beacon is located on Taris, a desert world ravaged by centuries of war. Here, the team encounters the remnants of an alien species who were nearly wiped out by the Sol Dominion. These survivors, known as the Kryn, initially refused to help, harboring deep resentment toward humanity. Elena earns their trust by risking her life to save a Kryn child trapped in a sandstorm. The Kryn elder, Varesh, reluctantly agrees to guide them to the beacon. Varesh, your kind brought ruin to my people, but perhaps you are not like them. The activation of the beacon triggers a massive sandquake, and the team narrowly escapes aboard their ship, carrying with them the gratitude of the Kryn. Betrayal within. As the team races to activate the remaining beacons, General Victor Kane makes his move. Believing the relics should be used to consolidate humanity's power, he leads a coup against President Morgan, seizing control of Earth's military forces. Kane declares himself the leader of a new human dominion, vowing to use the relics to protect humanity at any cost. Kane, the galaxy doesn't want peace, it wants strength, and I intend to give it exactly that. Elena and her team become fugitives, hunted by Kane's forces even as they try to save the galaxy from the Eclipsed Ones. The final beacon. The final beacon lies at the heart of a black hole, accessible only through a perilous journey through warped space. The team discovers that this beacon was the first ever built by the Sol Dominion, powered by the life force of thousands of volunteers who sacrificed themselves to stop the Eclipsed Ones. Elena faces an impossible choice. Activating the beacon requires a similar sacrifice. Kyle volunteers, believing it is his chance to atone for his people's role in humanity's downfall. Kyle, my people erased your history. Let me help you write a new one. In a tearful farewell, Kale merges with the beacon, stabilizing the network and sealing the rift that allowed the Eclipsed Ones to enter the galaxy. His sacrifice sends a shockwave of energy across the stars, driving the Eclipsed Ones back into their dimension. A new dawn with the Eclipsed Ones defeated, humanity and the galaxy stand at a crossroads. General Kane's coup is thwarted by a coalition of human and alien forces, and President Morgan reaffirms humanity's commitment to peace. Elena delivers a speech to the Galactic Council, her voice filled with quiet determination. Elena, our past is a lesson, not a destiny. We are not the Sol Dominion. We are something new, something better. Together we can build a future where no one lives in fear of the dark. The story ends with humanity taking its place as a respected member of the galactic community, their ancient legacy no longer a burden, but a source of inspiration. The relics remain, their mysteries still waiting to be unraveled, hinting at adventures yet to come.